Am I audible? Can anyone please confirm?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am Riya Tapwal. I am doing PhD at IIT Kharagpur under the supervision of Professor Sudeep Mishra. Today we are going to discuss the topics of week 6, and after that we will discuss some questions related to the same week. But before that, last week one of you has asked me a question. That what is the role of uh, yeah, programmer, which is under tools in your Arduino IDE. So basically this is used for, wait, see, consider a scenario. For example, in order to upload your code to the Arduino board, there might be various possibilities, right? So there might be a possibility that you are uploading the code through your computer through serial connection, or you are uploading the code from the Arduino board to another Arduino board. So this programmer option enables you to select the choice that from which you are going to or how you are going to upload the code to your Arduino board. So basically this ABRISP MKLL is used for uploading the code serially from your laptop or computer to your Arduino board. So similarly there are other options also. I have listed down in the slide. You can go through them one by one. So there might be a chance that you are uploading the code from one Arduino to another Arduino, or other kind of things are there. Let's wait for next 2 to 3 minutes because people are joining. So today we are going to discuss about Python. So do you want me to give you brief summary of Python, or should I directly move to the questions? Anyone please reply. Do you want me to give the brief summary of Python language, or Should I
No,
tell you?
we can discuss the questions directly.
Yeah. Is it fine for everyone? Because Python is basic, so I guess everyone knows, right? You can skip. Okay, fine. So I'll directly move to the questions part then today. So first question is, what is the output? Wait. First question is, what is the output of for the following piece of Python code? So this is a code. Here x is given as these values are given in x, and here x is 0 colon print x. So these are the options. So what is the correct option for this piece of code? Anyone?
Option D.
Option D. Okay. Anyone else?
Option D.
Option D. Anyone else? D. Yeah, so D is correct because we are going to print all the values which are starting from the location 0. So option D is correct. Next question is, how many GPIO, that is general purpose input output pins, are there in Raspberry Pi 4? Options are 30, 40, 40, 41. Anyone? Sorry. I'm repeating the question. How many GPIO pins are there in Raspberry Pi 4? Options are 30, 14, 40, 41.
Option C, 40.
40. Okay, anyone else?
40, ma'am.
40. Yes, 40 is correct. So, 40 GPIO pins are there in your Raspberry Pi 4. Next question is, which of the following is not an example of Python IDE? Options are Sublime Text, PyCharm, Spider, none of the above. Anyone?
Don't I have the ma'am? D number.
D. Okay, anyone else?
I think D is correct answer, madam, because all the three are available as a Python IDE, I believe.
Okay, now
Sublime text is not an idea, ma'am.
what?
Mm.
Can you please repeat last one? Okay, so you are saying none of the above. Now, can you please check their spellings? So the spellings are correct.
Sublime text is a
Option
text
C.
editor, ma'am.
Sublime Text is IDE, but Spider, because the IDE Python IDE is SPYDER. It's not SPIDER. So in your exam also you have to be very careful about the spellings, because this is the question which I have taken from the previous year assignments, right? So if they have put questions like this, then there might be a chance that you'll get similar kind of question in your exam also. So before answering, you have to be very careful. So all these Sublime Text, PyCharm, Spider, all are Python IDE, but the spelling here is not correct. The spelling of Spider is not correct. Next question is, what is the value of x in the following expression in the Python programming? This is the expression. So this is your expression, and okay. So anyone? What is the value of x in the following expression in Python programming? X is equal to 3 cap 3. Options are 0, 9, minus 2. Will raise an exception. Okay, so what does cap means in your Python language? So this cap symbols is, anyone?
Power.
Exponential.
Exponential. Okay, so what is the correct option for this?
B. Option B.
Okay, option B. Anyone else?
It will raise an exception, man.
Raise any?
A star is an exponential operation.
Okay. Correct option is 0, because cap in Python is your XOR operator, and when when we perform XOR operation on same numbers, then the result will be 0. Okay, so you have to careful that what kind of operators are given, uh, uh, which symbol is used by Python language for which operator. So learn all those things, right? Next question is, in Python programming, which of the following is a null statement? Options are pass, continue, break, skip.
Skip.
Skip. Okay. Anyone?
Pass, ma'am.
Pass. Okay. Anyone else? In Python programming, which of
Ma'am,
the
pass.
pass?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Skip, ma'am.
No, pass is correct option. Pass is a null operation. Next question is, which Which of the following is an unordered data type in Python? Options are list, dictionary, both list and dictionary, tuple. I'm repeating the question. Which of the following is an unordered data type in Python? Options are list, dictionary, both list and dictionary, tuple.
Ma'am, dictionary.
Dictionary, okay. Anyone else?
I think C is correct. Both list also is not having any order.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think
List and tuple, ma'am.
List what? Tuple.
Option C.
Yeah.
Option C. Correct option is B. Dictionary is an unordered data type.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next question is, what is the value of x in the following expression in Python programming? So this is the expression, x is equal to 2 star star 3 cap 3 star star 1. Options are 11, 0, will raise an error, will raise an exception.
0.
0. Okay. How?
Eleven.
11. Okay. How you have solved?
It is 8 XOR 3.
8 XOR 3. Okay. So you means XOR have higher precedence as compared to your no. You mean this par has higher precedence as compared to XOR, right? Anyone else?
It's option A, 11.
Right, option A is correct. So in order to solve such kind of expression, you should know that which operation we should give higher preference as compared to the other. So here, in order to calculate this, it should be 8 XOR 3. So it means the par has higher preference as compared to XOR. So this star star will be performed first as compared to the XOR operation. Next question is, which of the following symbol is used to comment out multiple lines at once in Python?
Option
None
D.
of these.
None of these.
None of
Not
these.
these.
Okay.
None of these, ma'am.
Anyone else? Yeah, none of these is correct option. Next question is, with onboard Raspberry Pi camera, which one of the following is not correct for image related operation in Python? Options are from Pi camera, import Pi camera, from Pi, okay, check the spellings. So all are from Pi camera, import Pi camera, but the spellings are different. And D is all of these.
Option A.
I think option A is correct, madam.
Okay, question is, which of the following is not correct?
Ma'am, option A.
Option A. Fine. Anyone else?
Option A.
Option D, all of this not correct.
Okay. Yes, option D is correct for this because the correct form is from Pi camera, import Pi camera. So this is the correct form. Next question is, which of the following bit processor is used in Raspberry Pi 0 2W? Options are 64, 32, both 64 and 32, 128. Anyone? Which of the following bit processor is used in Raspberry Pi 0 2W? Options are 64, 32, both 64 and 32, 128.
64.
It is option A.
Option A
64, ma'am. 64.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, 64 is correct. Next question is, which of the following shortcut exists the nano editor? Options are Control plus C, Control
Option
plus
C.
Control X,
C.
Option C.
Option C,
Control
ma'am. C.
plus X.
Option C.
Control X.
right? Control
Option
X
C,
is
ma'am.
correct. Control O writes the codes into your file. However, Control plus X exits the nano editor. Next question is, which of the following syntax is correct for networking in Python? Option A is S is equal to socket dot socket, socket AF underscore net, socket dot sock stram. Next one is same. However, the mode is socket dot sock dgram. Third one is socket dot sock underscore TCP, and fourth one is socket dot sock underscore UDP.
I think option D is correct.
D is correct.
Ma'am, option D.
Okay. Anyone else? Correct option. Wait. Correct option for this is B. Here, basically, whenever you are whenever you are going to generate an instance of socket, you have to write the socket family and the type of the socket. Okay, so basically there are different types of socket family which represent the types of addresses which you are going to use. For example, AF Unix or AF INET, these are types of socket family, right? And there are three types of sockets which can be used. These are the modes. One is your for generating TCP connection, that is your sock stream. So if it is STREAM, then first will also be correct, but here it is written as STRAM, so it is incorrect. For so stream is for generating your TCP connection. Now if you want to generate some UDP connection, then the socket type will be dgram. Fine. So in order to generate UDP connection, dgram sock dgram is used. So this is the other type of socket type, and third one is your raw sockets. So basically raw sockets are used whenever you don't want to use higher layer protocols, for example IP TCP. So in such cases raw sockets are generated. So for this question it is asked that which of the following is correct. So socket.af underscore Unix, this one is correct because this belongs to socket family, and sock underscore dgram, this is correct. So option B is correct for this question. Next question is, which of the following is correct to open a text file for write mode? Options are open file.text comma w, open file.text comma plus w, open file.text comma w plus, open file.text comma o plus w.
A.
Option A.
Option A.
Option A, ma'am.
Anyone else? Yeah, so correct option is A. So basically, first of all, in order to open a file in your write mode, first of all you have to call the function open. Inside open function you have to write the name of the file which you want to write, and after that you have to give the mode. So two types of modes can be there. One is write mode and other one is read mode. So in write mode you have to write W, and if you want to open your file in read mode, then you have to write R. Next question is, which of the following is an immutable data type in Python? Options are string, tuple, bool, all of these.
All of this.
D.
D. Okay, anyone else?
D, ma'am.
D.
All of these are D.
Right, all of these are immutable. Next question is, does Python follow rigid indentation? Options are yes, no, not applicable.
Yes.
It's option A, yes.
Okay, anyone else? Yes.
Option A, ma'am.
Yeah, A is correct. Python follow rigid indentation. Okay, so okay, so whenever you are giving indentation in your Python, better to use tab. So sometime what we do is we do 4 times space, because that is equal to the space which is provided by tab, but it is not a correct practice. Better to use tab, because that 4 times space is not always applicable in your all IDEs, right? So whenever you are giving indentation, use tab only. Next question is, what is the value that is assigned to the variable f in the given piece of Python code? So this is the code given. Options are 50, 50.68. Welcome to Python, all of these.
D.
Option B.
Option B. Okay. Anyone else?
Option B, ma'am.
Option B. Yes, option B is correct. 50 is assigned to I, 50.68 to F, and then welcome to Python will be assigned to str. Next question is, what is the output of the following piece of Python code? So this is the Python code. X is equal to this ampersand hash 39, and then terminate 17 ampersand hash 39. Y is equal to ampersand hash 39 termination 23 ampersand hash 39 terminate. Z is equal to x plus y, print Z. Options are A is 40, B is 6, C is 1723, D is 30.
Option B, ma'am. 6 होगा.
6. Okay, anyone else? How you have calculated 6? Anyone? No?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
At least guess. Correct option is 1723. Basically this ampersand hash 39 terminate, this is the inverted commas. So x is equal to 17 basically string, y is equal to 23 in the form of string. So z is equal to x plus y. It means they are just z is just concatenating two strings, that is 17 and 23. So correct option is 17, 23. Next question is fill in the blank. Raspbian is an blank. Options are microcomputer, mini computer, operating system, assembler.
Mini computer.
Operating system.
It's an operating system, option C.
C is correct.
Yeah. C number, ma'am.
Option B.
Option B, mini computer. Anyone else? Correct option is C. Raspbian is an operating system. Next question is, what is the output of the following piece of Python code? T1 is equal to, that again ampersand hash 39 terminate, welcome to Python coding ampersand hash 39 is print T1 8 colon 14. Options are 2 pyth, syntax error, E2 pyt, 2 pyt.
Option D.
Option
D.
Okay, anyone else?
Option D.
D.
Option D, ma'am.
Right, option D is correct. Next question is fill in the blanks. Raspberry Pi 3 Model B has GPU support of blank. Options are 400 MHz Video Core 4, 250 MHz Video Core 4, Quad Cortex A53 at the rate 1.2 GHz, ARM 11 at the rate 1 GHz. Anyone?
Option B, I think, 250 megahertz with video core.
Okay. Anyone else?
I think option C is.
Option A.
Option C, ma'am.
400 MHz.
Okay. Anyone else? Correct option is A. 400 MHz Video Core 4. So for answering such kind of questions, you have to go through the tables which were provided in your video lectures. Fine. So all the properties of different Raspberry Pi models are given there. Next question is, which of the following represents the command used for rebooting Raspberry Pi? Options are sudo reboot, sudo apt-get rebooting, pip install rebooting, all of these.
Sudo reboot.
Sudo reboot. Okay. Anyone else?
Ma'am, option A.
Option A. Right, correct option is A, that is sudo reboot. Next question is, state whether true or false. It is not possible to return multiple values from a function in Python. Options are true or false.
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 False, ma'am.
False होगा मैम. Option B.
False, ma'am. B, option B.
Right, option B is correct because we can return multiple values also in Python function. Next question is, what is the data type of the variable ls in the following piece of Python code? So this is the variable ls and
Option D.
option D. Okay.
Option A, dictionary.
Options are dictionary, list, tuple, all of these.
Dictionary.
Dictionary.
Yes, correct option is dictionary because in dictionary there is one key value associated with the data. So here with every data there are some key values associated. Next question is, state whether true or false a function in Python may or may not return a value.
True.
True, ma'am.
True, madam.
Right. So, correct option is true. Next
True.
question is, what are the basic modes
Basic.
to open a file in Python? Options are read mode R, write mode W, append mode A, both read and write mode R plus. D is all of these.
All of these.
Anyone else?
All of this, option D.
Okay.
Option D.
D. All of these, madam.
Right. Option D is correct. Next question is, what are the socket types that exist in Python-based socket programming? Options are AFDG and SOC SM, AF Unix and AF INET, SOC UX and SOC IT, SOC DGRAM and SOC Stream.
Option D.
Option B, ma'am. Option B.
B.
B or D?
B,
D.
ma'am. B. Ma'am, D is not. This is the
Option
first.
D.
D belongs to family, ma'am. Family.
D for duck or B for boy?
D for dog.
Okay. Anyone else?
B, ma'am.
D.
D for duck.
Right. So socket types are SOC DGRAM and SOC Stream. We have discussed this already that there are three types of sockets. First one is TCP, second is UDP, and third one is RAW. So for TCP it's SOC Stream, for UDP it's SOC DGRAM, and for RAW it's SOC RAW. Right? Next question is, does Python support exception handling? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, Python support exception handling. Next question is, which of the following must be used to terminate a loop and move to next code after the loop? Options are list, try, continue, break.
Break.
Continue, ma'am.
Break, ma'am.
Break, ma'am.
Okay, anyone else?
Option D. Break.
Break, break.
Option D is correct. Next question is, select the option that does not represent a keyword in Python language. Options are while, if, try, integer.
Integer.
Option
Integer,
D.
ma'am.
Option D.
Integer, ma'am.
B, ma'am. Integer.
Integer. Okay, anyone else? Right, integer is correct. Next question is, Raspberry Pi does not support any other language other than Python. True or false?
False, ma'am.
Option B. False.
False.
False, ma'am.
False. Okay. Right. So this statement is false. Next question is, Python's installation comes with integrated development environment for programming. True or false?
True.
True, ma'am.
True.
Anyone else?
True, ma'am.
Yes, this statement is true. Next question is fill in the blank. Python IDE is available for installation into PC with blank. Options are
All of them. All of these, ma'am.
Linux, Mac, all of these.
All of these, ma'am.
Option D. All of them.
All of these.
All of these.
Option D, ma'am.
Right. Option D is correct. Next question is relay a type of mechanical switch? Yes or no?
Yes.
Electromechanical switch, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else?
No. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is a mechanical switch. Next question is, how many data types are there in Python? Options are 1, 2, 5, 7.
7.
Anyone else?
7, ma'am.
7, ma'am.
7.
Can you please list down?
List, files, tuple, dictionary.
Slower. What? Repeat, please.
List,
Hmm.
the tuple, dictionary.
Right.
Int,
Okay. So int is there. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am. 7.
7. Please list down.
Yes.
Madam, 5.
List, tuple, dictionary. These are done. Now tell me the other.
String, integer, boolean.
Okay. See, basically there are five data types in Python.
Complex, ma'am.
List.
List, tuple, dictionary,
Complex.
then string, and all the others which you are saying comes under your numbers. Next question is, the variable that is declared inside the function in Python is called a global variable. True or false?
false.
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 Local variable.
Yes, this statement is false. So when you are going to declare a variable inside a function, then it is a local variable, and if it is outside the scope of a particular of all the functions, then that is a global variable. Next question is, which of the following is used to read a text file in Python? So these are the option: file is equal to open data.txt, r, file is equal to open underscore text data.txt, comma r, file is equal to read underscore text data.txt, comma r, file is equal to read data.txt, comma r.
Option D, ma'am.
Option A,
Option D.
B, ma'am. Read. Read more.
D.
File is equal to read data.txt. Read.
Option A.
Option A. Anyone else?
Option D, ma'am.
D. Correct option for this is A, because whenever you want to read or write a file, first of all you have to open that particular file. So by using open function, you are going to open that file, and inside the open function you have to write the name of that particular file, that is data.txt, and the mode in which you want to open that file. If you want to read that file, then you have to write the mode as R, and if you want to write that file, you have to write the mode as W. Next question is, which of the following library in Python is used for processing images? Options are Pillow, NumPy, Panda, none of these.
Panda.
Panda.
Anyone else? Images.
Ma'am, option A. Pillow.
Option A, Pillow. Anyone else?
NumPy.
मैम नन ऑफ दिस आएगा क्योंकि इमेजेस के लिए स्काइपी करके कोई लाइब्रेरी आती है वो यूज करते हैं.
Pillow can also be used. So PIL or Pillow, these are the libraries which you can use in order to process images. So correct option for this is Pillow. Next question is, in Python, image cannot be converted to grayscale. True or false?
option A, true. True.
True, ma'am.
False. It's false.
Anyone else? I think it would be better if I go through the summary of all the topics, because your concepts about Python is not that much clear. Correct correct option for this is false. You can convert the colored images into the grayscale images and the grayscale images into the color images. Basically, you have to write the mode. So if you want to convert into the grayscale, then you have to write the mode as L, and if you want to convert from grayscale to color, then you have to write RGB. Next question is, which of the following shortcut exits the repeated question nano editor? Options are Control plus E, Control plus O, Control plus V, none of these.
None of these, ma'am.
None of these.
None of this.
Yes, correct option is none of these. Next question is, which of the following is an unordered data type in Python?
Dictionary.
Dictionary, both dictionary and list.
Dictionary.
Dictionary, ma'am.
Dictionary. Repeated question.
Correct, right.
Ma'am, question is repeated.
Yeah, right. Next question is, which of the following converts energy to motion? Options are actuator, Raspberry Pi, sensor, none of these.
Actuator.
Actuators.
Option A.
Actuator. Option
Actuator,
A.
ma'am.
Option A.
Option A, ma'am.
Option A, actuator is correct. Next question is, Python does not follow strict indentation, true or false?
False.
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 False, ma'am.
Question is, function cannot be reassigned to the variables in Python, true or false?
False.
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 False, ma'am. False.
Right, this statement is false. Next question is, you can execute Python program within a Raspberry Pi, true or false?
True.
True, ma'am.
True, ma'am.
Right, so this statement is true. Next question is, which among the following libraries in Python do you use to generate and plot graphs? Options are NumPy,
Mat.
Time, Matplotlib.
Option C, ma'am. Option C. Matplotlib.
Right, Matplotlib is
Option C. Matplotlib.
plotting graphs. Next question is someone trying to say something? Next question is, a programmer needs to execute a Python code that requires RAM support of 1 GB SDRAM, quad-core A53 at the rate 1.2 GHz, 400 MHz video core 4, video core 4 GPU and 802.11 wireless communications port. Select the appropriate device where the code can be executed. Options are Raspberry Pi 0, Raspberry Pi 2 Model B, Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, Arduino Uno.
C.
Option C. Raspberry
C,
Pi
ma'am.
3 Model B.
Anyone else?
C, ma'am.
Why C? Okay, why the correct option is C? Why not Arduino Uno, not Pi model, Pi 2 or Pi 0? Anyone? Basically, based upon these properties, first of all, we need wireless communication port also, which is not given by others. Apart from that, the RAM requirement, after that GPU requirement, CPU requirement. So all these properties you have to learn the properties of different Raspberry Pis in order to check what kind of support they can give. Next question is Raspberry Pi has blank GB internal storage. Options are 3, 0, 4, 1.
0.
1.
B
1.
number
0.
B.
Anyone else?
1, ma'am.
1.
1, ma'am.
0.
0 is correct. Raspberry Pis don't have any internal storage. You have to place an external SD card in your Raspberry Pis in order to use them.
Yes, ma'am.
Next question is which among the following is a wearable? Wait. Question is which among the following is a wearable Arduino board? Options are Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, Redboard Arduino, Lilipad Arduino.
Option D, I.
It's option D, Lilipad Arduino.
Lilipad Arduino. So you are asking for PPTs. I have already uploaded. I'm sharing the link again. So this is the Google Drive link. I have uploaded all the PDFs here. You can please check whether are you able to access that or not. Ma'am, in the IoT exam which is supposed to be conducted on 29th of October this year, shall we follow MCQ question present in the PDF file provided by Arjuna? I just need proper guidance from the number of minutes are absorbed, then there are nearly 730. If we calculate total both of okay, so basically it's not like that you are going to get questions from these PDFs or from your assignment question. So the main motive of such kind of sessions is that you will get to know what kind of questions you will get. So in the exam you will get similar kind of question. So there might be a chance that you will get 1 or 2 questions from here, or there might be a chance that language will be different, but it's not compulsory that you will get questions from here only. So it's not like that you are going to learn these questions and after that go to your exam. Better to clear your concepts. Once your concepts are clear, then you will be able to answer all kind of questions.
How much questions will be there on exams, ma'am?
I guess it will be of 100 questions. I'm not sure, but 100 questions, I guess.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So question was.
Ma'am, all the question will be MCQ.
Right, MCQ kind of questions you will get.
Okay, ma'am.
So question is which among the following is a wearable Arduino board? Options are Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, Redboard Arduino, Lilipad Arduino.
Arduino Mega. Arduino Mega.
Meha.
Lilipad.
Right, Lilipad Arduino is correct option. Next question is in Python the following is the syntax of sleep function. Time dot sleep seconds. The argument second should be options are integer, float, either integer or float, range.
Range, ma'am.
Float, ma'am.
Integer or float?
Integer only.
Integer.
It can be either integer or float. Next question is which of the following is the extension for your Python file in Raspberry Pi? Options are .py, .pi, .rpi, .rpy.
A. A,
Dot
ma'am.
py, ma'am.
.py.
Dot py, ma'am. A number.
Right, .py is correct. Next question is what are the variables that are declared and has its scope within the function in Python called? Options are global variable, local variable, hierarchical variable, dangling variable.
Local variable.
Local variable. Anyone else? what are the variables that are declared and has its scope within a function in Python called? Options are global variable, local variable, hierarchical variable, dangling variable.
Option A,
Option
ma'am.
B. Option B, local variable is
Right,
correct.
local variable is correct because for local variable the scope is within the function they are declared. Next question is, so question is, in Raspberry Pi, what is the command for capturing an image? Options are Raspi capture, Raspi cam, Raspi snap, Raspi still. Anyone?
So,
Option A.
Anyone else?
Option D.
Option D, Raspi still. Anyone else? Yeah, option D is correct. Yeah, so these were the questions, but before that, I want you to write a code also. Wait. So since today we haven't covered the summary part of Python, so this is a code. So you have to write a client server program in Python where client will request the current time and date from the server and then prints the same. So you have to use socket programming here.
client programming, ma'am.
What?
Client programming or
Socket programming. Socket programming.
socket. Okay, ma'am.
Right. So basically, whenever you want two systems to interact with each other, one is client and one is server, you have to use socket programming, where you have to assign some IP address, some port number to your server, and with the help of those IP address and port number, your client will access the server and request the data from the server. Okay, so you can take, it's 6:56, 7:15. Is it fine? Everyone, please write a code. Everyone know Python, right? Yeah, so write this code at 7:15. We will discuss at how to do this. So till 7:15, everyone please try. Those who are joining late, you have to write a client server program in Python where your client is going to request the current time and date from the server and then prints the same. I want every one of you to write the code. I'll ask you the logic, how you have done. After that, I'll discuss. I have again pasted the link of Google Drive. You can access all the PDFs from this link, and those who have not joined previous session, I'm sharing the link of YouTube video also. This is for the previous session. Similarly, I'll upload the video for the next session also. Okay, before starting the code, do you want me to explain socket programming, or will you do it yourself? Anyone, please? Do you want me to explain what exactly is socket programming?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's why in the beginning I asked whether to give brief summary of Python or not. Yeah. So with the help of Python, please mute yourself. Okay. So with the help of Python language, you can make two devices to interact with each other, right? So basically, Python provides various network services for client-server model. Client-server model means there are two devices. One will act as client, which is going to access some information from the other device, and the device which is going to provide the information is called server. Socket support the operating system allows to implement client and server for both connection oriented and connectionless protocol. So basically, whenever you want to make any kind of connection, whether it is a connection oriented or connectionless, you can use socket programming. So Python has various libraries which can help you to do socket programming or generate sockets. So basically, this is the figure showing what exactly socket, how socket programming works. So basically, a socket is one endpoint of two-way communication link between two programs running on a network. So consider two devices, right? So one device is this and one device is this. So basically, consider that this is A and this is B. So if that A wants to send some message to B, right, through Gmail, consider through Gmail, this A wants to send message to B. So there might be one application running here which is Gmail, and there is also one application running here which is again Gmail. So there will be some endpoint which are making the communication possible between these two devices, right? So everyone has done computer networks course, right? Okay, so in computer networks there is one OSI model which consists of various layers. So in OSI there are 7 layers which are responsible for the flow of data from one device to another device. So basically those layers consist of various protocols with the help of which the data is transmitted from one device to another device. So here it is said that socket is the one endpoint of two-way communication. So basically here there will be one socket, and here on the other device there will be one socket. So these sockets are responsible for establishing the connection between the two devices and then sending the data from one device to other device. Now apart from this point generation, you will need some protocols with the help of which data can be transmitted. So if you want to do connection oriented transmission, right, connection oriented means the resources through which the data will be sent are reserved for sending the data, right, and in case of connectionless, the resources are not prior reserved. So if it is connection oriented means you are going to use TCP protocol, and if it is connectionless, then you are going to use UDP protocol. So for these different types of protocols which you are going to use in socket programming, you have different types of sockets. So first socket is stream socket. So stream socket means in order to create connection oriented connection between the two devices, that is if you are going to use TCP. So for that you have to write the mode as sock stream, and if you are going to use connectionless, then datagram sockets are used. For this datagram sockets are referred as sock dgram, and then there is another kind of socket, that is raw socket, which are referred to as sock raw. So these kind of sockets are used when you are not going to use these upper layer protocols such as IP, TCP. So if you are going to make the communication possible with the help of only lower layer protocols, then you are going to use these raw sockets. So this is the same thing which I have told you. So in case of socket programming, different kinds of functions are used in order to make the communication possible. So at the server side, first function is socket. So socket function is used to create a socket descriptor on both the client and server side. Basically you have to create one point with the help of connection will get established, right? So this socket descriptor, so socket function is used to generate the socket descriptor on both the server and client side. After that, bind function is used at the server side. So basically this bind function is going to bind the device with a particular IP address and a port number. So with the help of this bind, you are going to assign a particular IP address and a particular port number to your application. Basically IP address is already there for that particular device, right? But for that application which you are using, you have to assign one port. After that, listen. So listen system call hears to the various connections which are present in the network and then select the particular client to serve. So this listen is responsible for listening all the connections which are there, because there might be a chance that there is one server and multiple clients, right? So this listen function is responsible for listening all the connections which are available in the network. After that, then connect function is used. So connect function is used by the client in order to establish the connection with the server. So this connect function will follow the three-way handshaking protocol, which is defined in computer networks. After that, please mute. After that, accept function extract the connection on the buffer of pending connections in the system. So basically this accept function is responsible for selecting one particular connection which is present in the network. Then send and receive. So as the name suggests, send is used to send the data, receive is to accept the data. And once the exchange of data is done, you have to close the connection. So for closing the connection, close function is used. So now this is the example. So first of all, you have to import the library socket in order to use socket programming. So import a socket. After that, import sys. So then you have to generate the descriptor of the socket. So sock is equal to sock.socket. You have to write the address type, you are going to use IP addresses, so AF underscore INET, and after that it can be sock stream or sock dgram, so depending upon your choice. Since here we are using TCP kind, so I have written here socket dot sock underscore stream. After that, this is the server code. Okay, after that you have to assign some IP address and port number to your server. So server address, this is a variable, you have to assign IP address, and that will be 10.14. so it will depend upon the machine which you are using. It can be any IP address on the machine which you are using, and port number you can give any port number. After that, this is just printing the statement that this particular port is starting. After that, this sock.bind, so this bind function is going to bind the particular device to this port number and this IP address. After that, this program will started listening to your all the connections which are present in the network. So once it start listening, it will accept one of the connection which is present. So this is response sock.accept will accept one of the connection. After that, data is equal to connection dot receive 1024. Basically this statement is responsible for receiving the data, and the chunks and the size of data in which it will receive is 1024 bytes, and after that it will print the data, and after that the connection will be closed. So what this program is doing, this server program is just accepting the data which is sent by the client port. Okay, so till this point, connection client address is equal to sock.accept. That will be same for all kind of ports. First of all, you have to create the descriptor, you have to assign IP address, you have to bind, you have to listen to all the connections which are there, and you have to accept. After that, after this particular point of time, you the role of your application, whatever you want to do, will come into role. So for example, here your server is responsible for accepting the data, so this is the command. Now what I have given you in the question, that your server will send the data to the client part. So first of all, your server will get the time, and after that it will send that time to the client. So here you have to make the modification. Now the client part. Now this is the client part. So basically, first of all, here the descriptor for the socket is created. After that, once it is created, you have to connect to that particular server. So client socket dot connect, so you have to give the IP address of the server and the port number of the server, and after that the statement is just printing that connection is established, and the client is sending this data to the server, that is message to the server. So send function is used, and at the end it is printing that data is sent successfully. So these are the snapshot of the outputs. Okay, so any question till now? Okay, so for the code which I have given, at the server side you have to import the library time. So by using that library you will get the current time and date, and then you will use send function in order to send the date and time to the client. So in this scenario, the role will be opposite. Your client is fetching the data from the server. However, in the example which I have shown, your client is sending the data. Okay, so this will be the different part, and yeah, you have to use the time function also, and time library. So now please do.
Port will be constant, ma'am.
What?
Port number will be constant for everything, ma'am, or it will be varying?
You can use any port number, but keep in mind that there are some port number which are already assigned to some applications, right? So for FTP there is one port number assigned, so you cannot use those port number. Apart from those, you can use any port number.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, for running the codes. Okay, so since you have only one device, right, your laptop only, so what you will do is you will write two codes, right? One will be your client.py, other will be your server.py. So for running, you will run the client.py on one terminal. Okay, open your command prompt, after that run your Python code there, your client.py in one terminal and your server.py in another terminal. Fine.
Yes.
Yeah. You please do. I'll come in 5 minutes. Okay.
This is applicable only for the income projected balance. Okay. Okay, so those who are joining late, I have given you a question that you have to write a client server program in Python where client
is going to request the current time and date from the server and then prints the same. Please let me know if any one of you is able to do this question. I have already told you the logic, you just have to write that and implement. I have again shared the link, Google Drive link in the chat box. So those who have joined late, you can access the PDF from Google Drive. I have already uploaded the PDF. It is a very simple code, nothing much you have to do. Can I use date time dot now? So it is your task. First you complete, after that I'll tell you how to do this. At the end I'll explain how to do this. Okay, anyone who has written either client or server code? Should I explain? Or any one of you? Okay, so okay, I'm explaining, you can try later. So this is the
Ma'am,
yeah.
I have already shared the gem file with meeting.
Where you have shared?
Sorry, ma'am.
But can you please repeat where you have shared the file?
Yeah, ma'am.
I'm not getting what you are saying. The jam file.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's not opening. So you have completed the code. Please accept the request.
Okay, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Done. Can you explain what you have written? So is this your client program or server program?
Client, ma'am.
Client, okay. So import socket, host this, port this, client dot socket, client dot
Ma'am,
connect.
only try this code, ma'am. Try to.
Yeah, this is not correct.
Ma'am,
This is not correct.
ma'am,
Yeah,
so, ma'am, your voice is not clear, ma'am.
your voice is not clear. Can you please write down?
Ma'am, your voice is not clear. I'm not able to listen you.
You are not able to what?
Listen you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Your
Now it's fine, ma'am.
Your voice is not clear. Can you please write down? Okay, now I am explaining the code.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So first one is your client. First one is your server, and second one is your no. This one is your client, and this one is your server port. So first I'll explain the wait. Client socket server address no. Okay, this is your server code, the first picture, and the second picture is your client code. So in the server code, what is the functionality of server? It will fetch the current date and time and then send that to the client. So for that socket is required for creating the socket, and then date time library is required for getting the current date and time. Then after that you have to create descriptor, so this is the same. After that you have to assign some IP address and port number to your server. Here I am using localhost only, so you can use other IP also. After that I'm just printing the port number and IP, and after that you have to bind the particular application to this IP address and this port number. Once it is done, it will start listening to all the connections which are present, right? After that once while true, so it will it will listen to all the connection till it will not get any particular connection, or it will not able to accept particular connection. So till that point the server will listen to the network. So when it is true, it will use datetime function, that is datetime.now. So this function will give you the date and time, and then you have to send this particular date and time to your client part. So for sending you have to send all, then you have to encode the message, and then finally you have to close the connection. At the other end, the client, what client will do? Client will establish first of all it will also create a descriptor of the socket, so this line is responsible for that. After that it will connect to your particular server, and then once the connection is established, it will send request to the server. So request is please send me the current date and time, so it will send this request to the server, and once this request reach at the server end, it will send the date and time. So the date and time which is sent by the server, the client has to decode that, and once it is decoded, the client will print the same. So here your date and time will be printed. So at the end the connection will be closed. So nothing much, you just have to use this function, that is your date time function. Okay. Code is already there in the PDF file, so you can access from that. Now I have to terminate the session. Actually I have another meeting, so whatever is if you have any doubt, then we can discuss that thing in next session. Okay. I have already shared the PDF. I'm again sharing the link with you. So this is the link. Now I am terminating the session. If you have any doubt, we can discuss that in the next session. Okay,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So first of all, Python is a versatile language which is easy to script and easy to read. It doesn't support strict rules for syntax as we have in C or C++ language. Its installation comes with integrated development environment for programming. It supports interfacing with wide-ranging hardware platforms with open source nature. It forms a strong backbone for to build large application. Now for coding Python, you need some IDE. So Python IDE is a free and open source software that is used to write the codes and integrate several modules and libraries. It is available for installation over your Windows, Linux or Mac. So the examples of Python IDE are your Spider, PyCharm, or there are various others also. Now the data types in Python. So there are 5 data types in Python. So first one is your numbers. So in case of your numbers, you are going to assign different values to different variables. For example, here we have 3 numbers, that is your x, y, z, and we are assigning different values to these. For example, x is assigned to 10, which is of your integer type, y is assigned to your 10.2, which is your float type, and z is assigned to Python, which is your string. Now second data type is string. So in case of your string, you assign a particular string to a variable, and your string should be in your inverted commas. So for example, here your x is, this is a Python in inverted commas. So whenever you write print x in your IDE, and then the output will be this is a Python, and here if you want to print each element of your string, then you can use array in order to do so. Now the next data type which is used in your Python is your list. So list is a collection of element. So in case of your list, different elements or different elements are stored in a single variable. For example, in x, different values are stored, that is your x, 10.2, Python, all those are stored in x only. Similarly, in case of tuple also, different values are stored in a single variable only. But the difference between your list and tuple is that the tuple is immutable. It means that once we store some value in a tuple, we cannot change that. However, the values which are stored in list, we can change those values. The next is your dictionary. So in case of your dictionary, there are key elements also along with your values. So with each value there is one key element associated with that particular value. For example, here for item the key value is 1, for 2 it's k, so for k it's 2. So we can write the key values and your different values like this in the dictionary. Now the controlling statement. So similar to your C and C++ language, there are various controlling statements in Python also. Wait. So the first controlling statement is your if else if else. So in case of your if else if else, if you the syntax is like this. First of all, you have to write if, and in the brackets you have to write the condition, and after that there should be colons, and inside the if you will write the statements or the tasks whatever you want to perform. And if that this condition does not fulfill, or if this statement is not true, then the command goes to your else if part. So in else if also there will be a condition, and the condition will be in the brackets, and there will be colons, and the statements or tasks which ever you want to perform, you will write in this section. And if all both of these, if and else if will not be fulfilled, then the control will go to your else. So the syntax is else colons, and inside the else you can write the statements or task whatever you want to perform. Now the loops in your Python. So there are two types of loops, while and for loop. So in case of your while loop, you will write while and the condition, and after that the colons, and inside the while loop you will write the statement, whatever statement you want to iterate. So this is the syntax for your while loop. And similarly for your for loop, this is the syntax. So basically you will write for I in x. So every time the number of elements, since there are 4 elements in x, so these statements are going to run for 4 times. For every I in x, these statements are going to run. Now break. So whenever in case of your loops, whenever a break statement will occur, the control will automatically get out of your loops. However, in case of your continuous statements, that particular stance will not execute. For example, if x is equal, if s is equal to y, so for this thing only it will skip this statement, and after that your control will reside into your loop only. Now the functions in Python. So the functions in Python are similar to your C or C++ only. So inside the functions you are going to write the code which you are going to use again and again. So in order to avoid the redundancy, or in order to avoid the load which is taken in order to write the code, so we need to define the functions. So so these functions either can return value or they cannot return value. So depending upon the need, functions are defined. For example, here we have defined one function, that is your greater function, which is taking 2 parameters, that is your x and y. So syntax is you have to write def, then the name of the function and the parameters if it is taking some parameters, and then colons. Inside this function you have to write the task whatever you want to perform. For example, here this greater function is printing the value which the function of, so this greater function is doing, it is taking 2 values x and y, and if x is greater than y, then it is returning x and y. Otherwise else it is returning y comma x. So for example, this value we have called this greater function, and we have passed 10 comma 100. So basically this x is your 10 and 100 will goes to your y. So this, if x is greater than y, since 100 is not greater than your since 10 is not greater than your 100, so command will go to your else. Now it will return y comma x. So it so the output will be your 100 comma 10. Now these functions can also be assigned or reassigned to variables. For example, here your add function. So in the first case it is not assigned to any variable. So for example, we have defined a function add, and it is returning a plus b. So for example, when we are inside the print, when we are calling add function, it will simply the control will go to add, and it is not this value is not assigned to any particular variable. However, when we assign this value to C, then the add function will be called, and whatever will be the result of this add function, that will be assigned to C. So for example, here we are passing 4 comma 6, so add functions is going to add 4 comma 6, that is your 10. So the result will be 10 in that this case. Now the variable scope in Python. So there are two types of variables. First one is your global variable and second one is your local variable. So in case the global variables are declared out of any function and they can be accessed inside the function as well as outside the function. However, your local variables are declared inside the function only, and they are, these variables are accessible inside that function only. For example, here these are the example of your local and global variable. So this is the first example. Here var is a variable which is taking value 10. Now this is the global variable. Now we have defined a function example, and in this function we have defined one local variable, that is again we have put the name as var and its value is 100. Now we are printing the variable var inside this function. Okay, so inside this function, since we have defined the value of var as 100, so it will print 100, and after that we have called this function, because in order to in order to execute this statement we have to call the function, and outside this function we have again print the value of variable. Since this variable is, since the scope of this print is outside this function, so it will print the value as 10. Similarly, here also this is the same example. However, in this example we are printing the value of variable inside your function only, that is your example function. Now the modules in Python. So any segment of code fulfilling a particular task that can be used commonly by everyone is termed as module. For example, here this part of code is your module. So here we are importing the random in order to generate the random number. So for I in range 1 to 10 we are generating the random number between your 1 to 10. So every time we are running this code, the output will vary, because we are calling the random function which is going to generate the random number, different random number every time when we are going to call this function. Now exception handling in Python. So if an error that is generated during the execution of program, we need to handle that particular error. So in order to handle that particular error, there is a need of exception handling, and the error that generated during the execution of the program is termed as your exception. So for this exception handling we use try and except we use try and except statements. So inside the try you have to write the statements, and if inside that in those statements if there is an error, then this except is going to handle that particular error. Now file read and write operation in Python. So Python allows to write or read the files. So the files can be your text files, CSV files, any kind of file. So no separate modules or library are required in order to read or write the files. So basically 3 functions are performed or 3 operations can be performed on your file. That is your, first of all you have to open the file, after that whatever read or write whatever you want to do, and after that you have to close that particular file. So first one is your opening your file. So in order to open the file you have to use open function, and the syntax of the open function is you have to write open, and inside the bracket you have to write the file name. So whatever file you want to read or write, you have to mention the name of that particular file, and after that the mode, in which mode you want to open that file, whether you want to read the file or whether you want to write the file. So you have to mention that thing. So there are 4 modes. So first one is your read mode. So this is represented by R. Second one is your write mode, which is represented by W. Then append mode, which is represented by A. And then both read and write mode. If you want to open your file both in read and write mode, then you have to write mode as R+. Okay, now closing the file. So in order to close the file, you have to use the function close. So this is done to ensure that the file is free to use for other resources. So you have to write, so the syntax is file dot close. So the good practice to handle exception while reading and writing operation is to ensure that the file is closed after the operation is completed. So this is the syntax. First of all, you have to open. After that, whatever you want to do, for example, here you are writing the file. So what you are writing to the text file, and after that, once it is done, you have to close the file. So now image read and write operation. So you can also read and write the images in Python. So in order to do that, you have to use PIL library. And in first of all, this library is not present in your Python environment. So it was supported till your Python version 2.7. Afterwards it is not supported. So first of all, you have to install this library. So in order to install this library, you have to write this command sudo pip install pillow. Your pillow supports the 3x version of your Python. So now reading the image in Python, your PIL library, Python image library, is used to work with the image file. So first of all, you have to write that from PIL import image. After that, you have to open that particular image file. So in order to open that image file, this is the syntax. You have to wait. After that, you have to open that particular image where you want to read or write, where you want to perform the read or write operation, and after that you have to display the particular image which you have opened. So in order to display, this is the syntax image dot show. Now yeah. So in order there are two types of modes of an image. First one is your RGB mode, that is your colored, and the other one is your L mode, that is your that is in your gray or black and white mode. So for example, if you want to write your image file, that is you want to change the mode of your image file, that is from your color to your black and white, you can use this syntax. For example, here you are creating one variable, that is your convert image, and here image dot convert. So you have to use this convert function. And since if your image is in is already in your RGB mode, and that is your colored mode, and you want to convert it to your black and white mode, then you have to write image dot convert, then the mode which is your L. So this command is going to convert your image from color to black and white. So this is the complete code. So first of all, you are importing from PIL, you are importing image. Then after that, inside your IM variable, you are assigning first of all you have to open that particular image over which you want to perform the operation. After that, you have to show that image. If you want to show that image, then you have to use this function im dot show. And after that, if you want to convert this image, then this is the syntax. Then after that, again you are showing that image, and the output is this. So first of all, this is the image, for this im.show, it will show like this, and once you will convert, it will show like this. Now the networking in Python. So Python provides network services for client server model. So in case of a Python, you can create one client code and your server node also, and make these nodes in order to communicate with each other. So sockets port in the operating system allows to implement client and server for both connection oriented as well as connectionless protocol. So Python has libraries that provide higher level access to specific application network protocols. Now the WebSocket. So what exactly is this socket means? So socket is one endpoint of two-way communication link between two programs running on the network. Socket mechanism provides a means of intercommunication by establishing named contact points between which the communication take place. So for example, between your two machines, if we want to make your two machines to communicate with each other, there are various processes that are running in those machines, right? So we need to identify the particular two processes in which the communication will take place. So socket is the endpoint on both the machines, which will help to identify the two processes between which the communication will take place. So that there are three types of sockets basically. First one is your stream socket, second one is your datagram socket, and third is your raw socket. So first is your stream socket. Stream socket can be referred as your sock stream. So these are the sockets which are used for making the connection oriented communication possible. And the second one is your these stream sockets are possible with the help of your TCP protocols. The second one is your datagram sockets. So these are referred by using your sock dgraph. These are used in order to make your connectionless communication, and if you want to use your UDP protocol, then you are going to use this socket. The third one is your raw socket. So raw socket is a type of socket that allows the access to the underlying protocols through your application layer. So if you want to make the communication possible between the two processes that are taking place in the same computer, then you can use your raw socket also. So this is the diagram showing that how the communication between two different devices take place, which is your inter-process communication. So inter-process communication is the mechanism provided by operating system that allows processes to communicate with each other. So here, as we can see that there are two devices which wants to interact with each other. So between in these two devices there are various processes. So in order to make communication between these two processes which are running on different machines, we have to create socket. So this client process is going to send request to your socket, which further will create a logical connection to your server end, and at your server end also there will be a socket through which this communication can take place. Now the system calls. So in order to make this client server architecture working possible, we have to call different functions that run at your server or at your client side. So at your server side, there are various functions. For example, your socket, bind, listen, accept, receive, send, close. So these are the list of functions that are used at your server end. However, these are for example, at your client side, the functions which are used are socket, connect, send, receive, depend upon the requirement of the task, and at the end, close. So first of all, socket function is used to create the socket descriptor at your server side also and at your client side also. So we need a particular descriptor that is going to identify a socket which is created at your server end and at your client end. So this socket function is going to create that particular descriptor. After that, the bind function. So bind function is used to bind that particular process to a particular IP and a particular port number. And then the next one is your listen function. So listen function is going to listen the various connections which are present in the network and going to select the particular client which a particular server is going to serve. Then next one is your accept function. So this accept function is going to accept one of the particular connection which are there in the network. And on the client side there is a connect function. So this connect function is going to used to make a connection with your server side. So this connect function use three-way handshake in order to establish the connection to your server. Then next one is your receive or send. So depending upon the requirement, whether you want to receive the data or whether you want to send the data, you are going to use your receive or send function. Similarly at your client side also, if you want to receive the data, you are going to use a receive function, and if you want to send the data, you have to use your send function. And at last, whenever the exchange of data take place, you have to close the connection. So in order to close the connection, close function is used both at your server side as well as your client side. Now the example. Okay. So here first of all you have to import the library, that is your socket and sys library. So first of all you have to import those. After that you have to generate a socket. So this is the variable. So in order to generate a socket descriptor, you have to use socket function, which will take two parameters. First one is the class of socket, and second one is your the type of the socket which you are going to use. So I have discussed three types of sockets, that is your UDP, TCP and your raw socket. So here in this example it is your sock stream. It means we are going to generate connection oriented connection between your client and server, because this sock stream means TCP type of connection. Then we need to bind this particular process to a particular IP address and a port number. So in order to do that, first of all we have defined a variable which is taking the IP address and the port number, and this sock.bind is going to bind your process to your particular to this IP address and this port number. After that, this server code is going to listen the connections which are available in the network, and here in the parameter I am passing 1 because it is going to listen until some connection is not established. So whenever it will find some connection in the network, it is going to accept that with the help of your sock accept. And after that, inside the data, it is going to receive whatever is sent by your client. So connection dot receive, this function is used to receive the data which is sent by your client, and inside this receive I have mentioned 1024. It means the maximum data or chunk size that your server can accept at a time is of your 1024 bits. Wait, okay, so please whenever possible, from the example of Wipro LED bulb, it was mentioned that LED uses ZigBee standards. What standard does ZigBee follow? 802. Yeah, ZigBee follows 802.15.4. It was mentioned in the lecture also, I guess. If it is based on how can it connect to a router or modem, that is based on Okay, that the second part I will check that how the connection can be established with your 802.11 standards. Okay. Now this is the client program. So inside the client program also you have to import the libraries. After that you have to generate a socket descriptor as you have done in case of your server code. So after that you have to establish the connection with the server. So in order to establish the connection you are going to call this socket.connect function, and inside this you have to mention the IP address and port to which you want to establish the connection. After that, once the connection is established, you are going to send this data message to the server. So this data can be sent by using send function, and once the data is sent you can print that data is sent successfully. So these are the outputs of this at the server end and at the client end. So these are the snapshot of your command prompt. Now multicasting using your WebSockets. So the previous example is of your unicasting. So basically whatever your client is sending, it is sending to one particular server only. But what if you want to send the data to multiple servers or to multiple clients at the same time? Consider an example where your server wants to send the data to multiple clients at the same time. So how this can be possible? So in order to do that, first of all you have to create a multicast group, and for different machines that are present in that particular multicast group, you have to assign one particular IP address and one particular port. So for example, here in this example, the multicast group, the IP assigned is 224.3.29.71 and the port is your 10,000. And once these are assigned, the rest of the things are same only. So basically you have to generate the multicast group in order to perform your multicasting using your WebSockets. Now the example. So okay, so you have to, okay, this is the example you have to perform. I'll give you 15 minutes and you have to write a client and server code where your client is going to request the current time from current